The video you're about to see is for educational purposes only. What you do with this information is at your own risk. Thank you for watching. Enjoy.
How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to another video. In today's video, we're going to be installing and setting up the Dolphin emulator here in Ubuntu on the Nintendo Switch. So let's go ahead and check it out. Okay, so before we get started, I would like to mention that you do need to have a moddable switch in order for this to work. On top of having a moddable switch, you also need to have Ubuntu already installed, so that way you can continue with this video. So if you don't have Ubuntu already installed, I do have a video on this that you can follow along and get set up with Ubuntu. I'll leave a link in the description to that video, so that way if you need Ubuntu from scratch, you can follow that video, and then after that you can come back to this video and get started with the Dolphin emulator. Okay, so once you have Ubuntu already set up on your Switch, now we can go ahead and start downloading and installing the Dolphin emulator. Now this part's going to be actually pretty easy because we're going to be using a script that does everything for us. And this is called the L4T mega script. And if you got to see my video previously on the Retropie, it's going to be the exact same way. Just use the mega script and then click to install Dolphin. So let's go ahead and do that. Those of you that had not had a chance to see my previous video on Retropie, that's not a problem. We're going to go ahead and do the exact same steps, but with installing the Dolphin emulator. But also, if you want to check out that Retropie video, I'll leave a link in the description as well. Now we can go ahead and look for that mega script that I was just talking about. But before we do that, I would like to mention that you do need to have an internet connection in order for this to work, because the script is going to be looking for all the URLs and all the files that are needed to have Dolphin installed. So once you have an internet connection, then you can go ahead and proceed. I would also like to mention that in order to use Ubuntu with a little bit more ease of access, you could use a keyboard and mouse, and that just makes things a little bit more smooth. And in order to use the keyboard and mouse, you have to be in dock mode and then plug in the keyboard and mouse to the USB ports. You could also use the controllers. That'll be up to you. I just find it easier to use the keyboard and mouse. But with all that being said, you have internet connection and you have a way of navigating Ubuntu, then we can go ahead and continue. Okay, so we can go to the top left corner of Ubuntu, and here where it says search your computer, you can just go ahead and click on it. And once it opens up a search bar, you can go to your keyboard and type the letter L. Once you do that, it's going to populate the applications with letter L, and you're going to look for the application that says L4T Megascript and click on it. Once it opens up, it should go to the welcome page, but of course, if it's your first time opening up the Megascript, it will most likely have to install, so just let it do its thing, and then you can get to this welcome page after. Just go ahead and click on OK. Here it just tells you how much space you have left on your SD card and your device information. Click OK. Once this opens up, you're going to want to have these unchecked and only have the all categories checked only. And then after that, just go to selection. Here's where it's important, because you have all the scripts and emulators and things like that that you may want to install here in the mega script. But of course, in this video, we're only looking for the Dolphin emulator. We're going to go ahead and click on that. And up here, you may notice that it already has this automatically checked. Now this part is important, but the reason why I'm going to uncheck it is because I've done it already in my Retropie video. Now it's important to have it checked and install it if it's your first time. And also it says to do it mainly when you run the mega script. So this will be my second time, but I'm not going to do it in this video because since I have Retropie and other things installed, it's going to take a lot longer and it's going to show you things that you may not have, and then I'm just wasting your time. But if it's your first time using the mega script, you will most likely have to have this checked just to be on the safe side, and then click on install items. And then just follow the prompts. It's going to ask you if you want to do this and that. Just always click yes on all the prompts and then just let it do its thing. But I'm going to uncheck it here just so we can make things faster. And I'm going to click on the Dolphin. It's still going to automatically update anyways, because that's what we're going to do. And it's going to ask me to do it anyway. So I'll show you right now when it's done. So once you have Dolphin checked, I'm going to click on install items. And here all you need to do is type a password that you created when you installed Ubuntu. Wrong keyboard. And then now it's going to start the process of installing Dolphin. So there it is, Dolphin script successfully started. If I would have started the other thing, it would have told me that I can install and update all of the cores for my Retropie, and I didn't want to do that to you, or I don't want to confuse anybody. But here, we should get this message here that says, what would you like to do? If it's the first time install, it can take up to 40 to 60 minutes, which is true. We're going to go through that right now. This is the long part. Everything else is pretty easy. Connecting to your Switch charger is recommended to make sure you are on dock mode, like I mentioned with the keyboard and mouse. It just makes things easier. And you have these two options here: install Dolphin, use our auto updater to update, or install Dolphin without performance settings. Now, I would highly recommend using this option here because it does automatically set up the Dolphin emulator for you to run as best as possible with your games. So you're going to want to click on this first option here, and what I was talking about earlier about the updating, it's going to do it for me as well. Let's go ahead and click on it, and it's going to start the process of installing installing Dolphin and everything else that it needs. So this part is going to take about 40 minutes to 60 minutes. So go ahead and go get some snacks, go get some drinks, and I'm going to do the same thing. So I'll be back when this is done. Whoop. Okay, so we finally reached 100%, and it has been about 45 minutes. So it does take a long time. I guess also depending on the type of SD card that you have, it may take longer. But we're at 100%, so just wanted to start recording again so that way we can finish this together. We'll see how much longer it goes. Installing, sending you back to main menu. Looks like it just finished. I think now it's doing the update of the auto update. That's it. Once everything is done, it should tell you a message here. It says, bye, thank you for using the Megascript. And then all you need to do next is exit the Megascript. And we are finally done with installing Dolphin. So now what we need to do is open up Dolphin for the first time and go through the settings. Okay, so once the installation is complete, you can now look for the Dolphin emulator here in the Search Your Computer. And since we have L already typed, we can backspace and then click on D. And here we should have the Dolphin emulator. So for the first time run, let's go ahead and open it up. It's going to pop up here. And for the next time purposes, if you ever want to open up Dolphin easier, it'll be right here. You can just right click and then click on Lock to Launcher. Now every time you restart or come back in here, Dolphin's going to be right here, just easy to click onto. But here, once you open it up, it's going to say if you want to allow the statistics reporting. I always click on no. And that's it. Now Dolphin is installed, and now we're ready to just add the controllers, add the games. Let's go ahead and get that started. Okay, so I decided that the best thing to do once you do a fresh install is to do a restart. And no, I don't think it's important, but I believe that it's important since it's something new added to the Ubuntu. It's good to restart. So that's what I'm going to do. It'd be up to you, but I think it's just a safer way to do things. So I'm going to go ahead and shut down and restart. Okay, so after a fresh restart, before we go back into Dolphin, I would like to do this next step first, and that is adding the games to the Dolphin folder, so that way we have that prepared for the initial Dolphin setup. So let me show you what I'm talking about. If you go to this Files tab here and click on it, it's going to open up your files location, and here in the Home tab, you should now have a folder that is called Dolphin after you installed it. Once you open it up, here are all the files that you need for Dolphin to run properly. But what we're going to do is we're going to add a new folder, and we're going to title it ROMs. Just like that. It doesn't have to be capitalized. And here inside this folder is where you're going to add all your game files. So here I have my folder that is called ROMs, and my mouse is not working properly, so it keeps opening up several folders. But here we go. And all you need to do is just highlight all your games and then put them inside this ROMs folder. But for me to be a little bit easier, I'm just going to highlight this folder and put it inside here and just merge the folders. There you go. Once you open it up, you should have all your games inside the ROMs folder, and then you should be good to go with running Dolphin again. So now that we have the games, let's go ahead and close this out and let's run Dolphin. Okay, so once you open up Dolphin, this area here should be where it shows your games, but we haven't set the path yet. And it says here Dolphin could not find any GameCube/Wii ISOs. Double click here to set the games directory. So we're going to double click on this empty screen, and then we're going to look for the folder where we have the ROMs, which is in the Dolphin folder. And here, I'm going to go to ROMs, and then we're going to click on choose. After that, it should populate all the games that you have for GameCube. I don't think I have any Wii games here because they didn't run for me very well. But the GameCube runs pretty well, in my opinion, on most of them. So we're going to go through some of them. But before we do that, now we need to do is set the controllers. Okay, so this next part will be up to you on which controllers you want to use. You can use either the Joy-Cons or a third-party controller like the PS4, PS5, things like that, or any Bluetooth device that you can connect to Ubuntu. But I'm going to be using the Joy-Cons so that way I can keep everything the same, especially if you're going to be in handheld mode. You're going to want to get used to using the Joy-Cons. So in order to add the Joy-Cons, you're going to want to get out of Dolphin. You're going to want to go up to this Bluetooth icon here, and then you're going to click on it. Once you click on this icon, you can go to Bluetooth settings. Once it opens up Bluetooth settings, you're going to have a devices option here, and then you're going to go to your Joy-Cons. And then you're going to hold down the pairing buttons. So I'm holding down both. Start the pairing process. And while they are looking for a pair, you can go to Ubuntu, click on plus, and look for the Joy-Cons here. So it already popped up the right one. And now we're waiting for the left. Once you click on one of the Joy-Cons, you can click on next. And then it'll start connecting to the Joy-Con. Once it stops flickering, it should stay on like player 1. Once you do that, to the left, you can go quit here and then go to plus. And then you're going to do the same thing for the right Joy-Con. Wait for the right Joy-Con to pair. And there we go. Now they're both solid colors. And the way you know that this works is that you have control of your mouse. There you go. So here, just like the mouse, you have the Joy-Con controls with the left thumbstick, and the right back trigger is like the right click, and the left is left click. So if you go to the X and right click, it gets out. So this is really important to know when you're using Joy-Cons, especially with Bluetooth, and also in handheld mode. If you're using the Joy-Cons, the screenshot button stops the mouse and keyboard. So if you push plus, it'll open up the keyboard and control the mouse. And if you push the screen capture button, it disables the mouse and keyboard. And this is really important. See, so it's not doing it no more. And this is really important because when you're in game, you want to have this disabled in order for the games to work, or else you're going to be popping up the keyboard and exiting out and things like that. So just keep in mind that when you push the screen capture, and like for the PS4 controllers, it's the PS button, does the same thing to disable. So once you have this, that means you're enabled, and then you can go and do whatever you want. So in this case, I'm going to hover over the Dolphin emulator and enter it. Once we're here, now we can go ahead and go to controllers. And here we're going to see standard controller. We can go to configure, and it's pretty good when you have the pair Joy-Cons to already have right here. It says Nintendo Switch combined Joy-Cons, and it already has all the buttons already set up for you. So you shouldn't have to configure these buttons, but you will have to do it for any third-party controllers. So with a third-party controller, once you add it on the Bluetooth settings, then you would go to here on device, and then you would click here and change to a the controller that pops up, it'll pop up like a wireless controller option here. But we have the Joy-Con, so we don't need to do anything here. And unless you want to change any of this button layout, that would be up to you. And then you would just go to save this profile. So everything's working for me on this, so I'm not going to change anything. But that's it. We are done with the GameCube controllers. Of course, if you wanted to do the Wii, that's up to you to try it on your own. I haven't done it that much yet, but you can configure that as well. But we're only doing the GameCube controller, so that's it. We are done. So here we have the games already in here. And yeah, the only thing is that it's really hard for me to play something that doesn't get me in trouble with showing you. So I'm going to play something so that way you can see how it runs, but I'm going to have the audio off so that way I don't get in trouble. But I do have my second channel. Those of you that know already, it's going to be the other side, and there I will have audio, and I can show a lot more there. So if you're interested in seeing a little bit longer gameplay, then I can show you on that end. But let's go ahead and try something out. So go ahead and do Burnout. So you can hover over it. You're going to want to click on it, and then you're going to go up here and click on play. Once the game starts like this, you're going to want to disable the keyboard or mouse by clicking on the screen capture, and now you can use your controller the way it should. So sometimes the games will load really slowly, and then they will pick up speed. So you have the FPS counter up there. We are at a steady 59 FPS. But you'll notice on some loading, then it will not be working as well as it should be. Let me make sure there is no audio. Okay, there's no audio. I'm sorry about that. But we're going to be able to see some game. Maybe I can have audio, just no music. Let's see. We're still at 60. Here we go. Okay, I can take off the music. We're still, see, the frame rate dropped to 48. It went to 10, 0, and now it should go back up during gameplay. So not all the games are going to be running very well, but so far I was playing some of these and they work pretty well. We're still at a 59%. Haven't seen that much dropping on frames. Oh, did I knock out that guy too? I think I did. Alright, so am I gonna lose already? Okay, there we go. So I hope that you can hear me. I know that I have the audio on, but I don't have it on my ears, so I can't hear what you're hearing. So I hope that you can still hear me. But that's pretty much it. Can't go into more. I will show a lot more on my second channel. But in order to get out of these games, you're going to want to reactivate the mouse and keyboard because we can't get out of here. So the only way to get out of it is if you reactivate the mouse and keyboard by pushing the capture button and then pushing square. Or I mean Y on the Joy-Cons. I'm used to PlayStation controls. Once you push Y, it'll pop up the Dolphin here, and then you can just go ahead and click on stop, and then go ahead and click on yes to stop it. And there you go. That's how you enter in and out of these games. So I don't know, let's go ahead and try some Melee. I know this is kind of a demanding game, so let's go ahead and try that. So we entered it. Now let's get out of the keyboard and mouse layout. And I'm not going to create any saved data. There you go. It's staying at about good 60 FPS. Just want to kill Mario real quick, and then I'll stop this. Pow. If I can kill him. Oh my goodness. There we go. Okay, so that's working just fine. So there's one more thing that I would like to show y'all. Those of y'all that saw my Retropie video, you could actually have Retropie run all of this. And let me show you how. So if you go out of the Dolphin, and if you have Retropie like I have on mine, you can go into that same files folder. And here you're going to find the Retropie folder. Inside this Retropie folder, you have a ROM folder as well. You can enter that. And then you can look for the GameCube, the GC folder. And inside here, you can add your GameCube files. And then you can have Retropie run everything for you. So let me show you how that works. If you exit out of here after putting your games in there, you can go into the search your computer and then type in R. This is those of you that are interested in Retropie. You have this emulation station and you can run everything from here. You gotta disable the mouse thing, and then you can look for the GameCube. Here we go. Once you enter that and you have the file inside the folder, then you can enter it. So I have Sonic Heroes in here. I think I can play this one. So it says launching Sonic Heroes. The only thing I don't really know that well is how to make this open up in full screen. But I don't know if that's something that you're interested in wanting to figure that out. You can leave me a comment down below. But I think it has to do with the configure here right before the game starts. But I'm just going to full screen this here just for the sake of this video. We're still running at 60, about 59, 60 FPS. And it seems to be working just fine. That's running with the Retropie. It dropped frames for a second, but now we're back at 59. And here we go. Runs pretty smooth. And I would like to point out something. Hold on, I don't know if y'all can hear me, but oops. There you go. Let me get out of here. And in order to get out of Retropie, I think you push plus and minus together. I think you got to get out of Dolphin first. So hold down Y, get out of Dolphin, I think. Goes back into Retropie. That's neither here or there. I just wanted to show you how that works. Okay, so there's things that I would like to point out. The FPS is running pretty well on my side, and that's because I think it has performance settings already set up for you. And I would like to keep in mind that I'm not even overclocked on my end. Right here on top, it shows that I'm still docked. Here you have a power mode. You can actually overclock for yourself as well. I think if you do, I think this is overclock CPU, overclock GPU, overclock all, and then you have performance all and performance overclock all. I think you'll be fine with just overclock all. I wouldn't even use overclock period, because I think it already has things to help you run better. But I just wanted to show you that in case some games are not running so well, you can go here and change them up. Even if you're in handheld mode, you can still go to any one of these types of overclocks or power modes. So that'd be up to you. That's pretty much it. I know it's a long video, so bear with me on that. If you made it this far, I really appreciate that you took the time to go through everything. Of course, if you have any questions, if things didn't work out for you, you can let me know, and I'll try and help you out as best as I can. And yeah, so let me know if it doesn't work for you. Let me know if it does work for you, and see what type of games. If there's any type of games you want me to try, I can try them out so that way you can see how they work. I'll leave a link to my other channel where I can actually show different gameplays of the games that you might be interested in. But other than that, I'll probably be posting different gameplays of the games that I already have on here. So let me know. Other than that, everything is working for me, and I hope everything works for you as well. So thank you for watching, everybody, and I love y'all, and I'll see you on the next one.